Good morning, this is Sarah, the Awareness Mentor, and today I'm going to talk about mentality and self-talk, because we had a really interesting workshop the other night. I'm part of a health and wellness discussion group, which is run by Gabby Cheslock. And it's really interesting because we're talking about everything health, everything wellness, from our mentality, mostly from our mentality, because it's mostly about our mentality. And we've been talking about the blue zones recently, which was really interesting, looking at why people live to a ripe old age through their mentality, their diet. We looked at the different areas in the world, and there's actually a film documentary on Netflix about it, which is really interesting, which everybody ought to have a look at. And we also, this time we saw that their diets are pretty much the same, which is the kind of diet I eat. It's a vegetarian diet. Sometimes they have a little bit of cheese, sometimes they have a little bit of probably fish, because a lot of them are coastal regions, but it's mostly vegetarian. They live they're fit because some of the areas are mountainous. All of them do a lot of physical work, and they have a lot of connectivity between them. They connect with others, they have a good social life, they laugh a lot, they do gardening, so they have contact with the earth. So there's a lot of good, real, natural, wholesome values that go on in these places, and that's why they live to a ripe old age. I've seen it here in Italy, in the village I live in. The older people used to live to over 100, and they were joyful, they talked to everybody, they lived a natural life, they lived off the earth, they had their own produce, and just generally joyful, and these people lived through a war, remember. They lived through wars, so they know what it was like to have sacrifice and everything else, but they lived to a ripe old age. And so we're looking at this now, and we're looking at the mentality, the wisdom of old people. When you hear the things that they say to you, and you probably, when you're young, you don't quite understand. I can't think of anything at the moment, but anyway, those little sayings that old people have, they're always little niche wisdom. Yesterday, because I've been doing my 6,000 steps, I put myself at a target of 6,000 steps after about a year of bit sedentary, because I've been doing a lot of studying, so I've been working at the computer a lot. Haven't been walking as much, sometimes going for walks, but not enough really. I decided to go for a walk more and try and get in I've put a limit at 6,000, because 10,000 is a lot of walking in a day. So I put my limit at 6,000. I've been doing regularly between 5 and 8, so some days I do more. Yesterday I did 7,000 steps on a walk, and then I went out afterwards. So we decided to walk to the river and discover a waterfall. It was a little bit difficult because I haven't done that kind of thing for a long time. I was okay getting down to the river, and I was walking over the stones, which I was worried about because I've got a bit of a dodgy knee. But I actually did really well. We didn't find the water because we went up a dry riverbed. And then we came back down and found the water. It was very cold, but it was actually there was a fork in the river, so we went up the wrong side. It's on the other side, and that's going to be for another time. What my story is about today, apart from it was absolutely beautiful in the dried riverbed, because we don't see butterflies, but I know why, because they look for the most natural places, and that riverbed was full of butterflies, absolutely beautiful, and dragonflies. So yeah, coming back, we were trying to scramble up a bank to get out, and it was full of brambles, and I actually fell. I grabbed onto the brambles and cut on my hand, and I twisted myself, ended up kind of upside down, falling back down towards the river. Well, I'm quite flexible, so actually not much happened. We were a bit achy today. The muscles are a bit achy, but not much happened. So luckily I was okay. But we were reflecting on this morning, you know, and age. I'm 60. I was 60 this year. So, you know, we had in our meeting the other night, we had a question, and it was like, how do you describe old age? And I'd like to leave you with this question today without saying too much, because my answer was very different from other people's answers. So how would you describe old age? And see what your answer is. I'm going to leave you with this one today. Thank you, Gabby, for that question. It was absolutely amazing. It was a gem, because observe, write it on a piece of paper, how you describe old age, and then think about it. I'm going to leave you with this one today. This is to do with your self-talk. There's a little clue there. It's all to do with your self-talk. And let's see if we can age fit and not underestimating ourselves, and also not doing too much, like going beyond what our capabilities are. So accepting your capabilities now in the moment and just acting accordingly and not thinking about it too much. I'm Sarah, the awareness coach. If you like my videos, subscribe, and you'll find me on saralifecoach.org. Thank you.